What's up, guys? This is K-LO, and normally I'm here to give you the lowdown on all things gaming, but welcome back to another episode of Community Kitchen, where we are cooking up the latest and greatest gaming news headlines. And who better to join me on this voyage today than my sous chef, Aden? Why don't you say what's up?
You don't own me. I say hi on my own accord. Hi, people.
He's digital, so therefore I don't own him, potentially. I don't know. But some quick housekeeping we want to mention. This is the first mention here on the YouTube channel. But me and this guy below me, we're going to PAX East. So if you guys are coming to PAX East, why don't you drop a comment? And if you see us on the show floor, say what's up. We look forward to getting our hands on all the games there and talking with the community at large.
Give us your questions that you want us to ask people.
Yes, that's most important. If there's anyone, it could be what's my favorite color. I don't know. We'll obviously get into that later on. But today there is an issue that plagues the gaming industry. I'm painting the vivid picture. And it is this whole digital future in gaming. It's game ownership. What do I, Aiden, what do I own here outside of the hardware? Do I even...
Nothing.
I'm about to say, do I even own the hardware nowadays? Well...
No.
The broader picture here is how game developers are handling their response to the communities at large, and, you know, lately it's been a pretty rough go here in gaming. First story we want to kind of cover here is this whole Ubisoft, The Crew. There's a lawsuit behind this game, and in case you don't know, I'm going to kind of vet the process here and kind of tell you what's going on, then we're going to dissect it further. So apparently there was a lawsuit with The Crew, which is a game from Ubisoft, where here back in February by Ubisoft's legal team, Paul Hastings LLP, captured by Polygon this week, the publisher's response says the plaintiffs allege they were purchasing unfettered ownership rights in the game, when in reality they were purchasing a license. Long story short, they bought the license to the game, they don't own it. And this is because they took the game offline, and it's a whole big mess. Aiden, do I own games anymore? Like, I have a disc? Does that help me?
Even those N64 games that you have, you do not own them.
I just want to say the added thing here is the choice to delist the game was announced by Ubisoft back in December of 2023, before the game was taken offline in March of 2024. So... I'm sorry for you fans of The Crew out there. Tough world.
I mean, the main thing that people are upset about with it is that they specifically took measures, it states, to create offline versions of The Crew 2 and also The Crew Motorfest. So both of those have offline versions. It's only the original one that doesn't have an offline version, which, I mean, if you ask me, is just messed up.
It is. Now... apparently there's an additional point made here with how gift cards can expire within California, and there's a complaint that connects to the Crew's digital currency. They also provide additional packaging images that claim the download code for the game would expire in 2099, not 2029, 2099, 2099, and the game would in sense be playable during this time and long thereafter. I've always said, having digital games, being able to preload them on my console before the actual release date, that's like a very big luxury in gaming. But then you also run the risk of things like this happening where a game could be taken offline and, you know what, you're kind of at their mercy. It's in the fine print, it's with everything. There's an example from Nintendo where they had the Super Mario 3D All-Stars. That was a limited run game. You bought it whenever they released it, and during that time, if you missed out on it, sorry, you kind of suck. You can't play it. You can't get it. You can't buy it. So, it's very scummy. All of this is very scummy, but they're in the right as long as they make it clear.
Yeah, and that's the thing that sucks about it, because, like, they can even do that with physical copies of the game nowadays as well. Like, Nintendo, for instance, is a little bit under fire because of the whole thing with, oh, yeah, they're going to be selling game cartridges, but those game cartridges have a downloadable copy of the game on them, not the actual game installed on the cartridge itself. So essentially the same thing going on there, but that also means that you bought a physical copy of the game that you don't rightfully own. And that is in itself is messed up. And this was a topic that was talked about years ago too, where like people were like, oh, okay, are game developers getting out of touch with reality? Are they just going to basically be holding the licenses for themselves and just renting it to us basically? And that is essentially what's going on here.
Yeah,
Is they're treating it as like they're renting a service to us when that's not the case.
Yeah, apparently there was a law passed in the state of California in September of 2024 that prohibited digital storefronts from using the term buy or purchase when they're only obtaining the license for a piece of media. So, again, digital gaming is in its very infant stages. Although it feels like it's been around for a long time, it's fairly new, and how we nuance it, how do we handle things like this, it's very, very murky. But for people who are fans of this game, and I'm more in the vein of like, if people like the game, they should be able to buy it, own it, and play it. Whether like you can take the multiplayer servers offline, whatever. Honestly, at the end of the day, it's whatever with that, because you'll be playing the latest and greatest in theory. But for this
But
thing,
then you have a question though for games like Call of Duty that are basically all online. What happens then?
that's the thing, and that's where it starts to get really murky. But to kind of wrap up the Ubisoft story, because there's another story here that I really want to talk about, where unfettered ownership rights rather to a limited license to access the game, I think they just need to, at face value, sell us the game. You can give us the license to the multiplayer. So that way, whenever you want to get rid of the multiplayer and move on to your next, whatever, your big project, the Crew 6 or whatever, it's there. It's done. You can package it away, put it in the fine print, make sure people read these things. I guess it's more of a cautionary tale for people who are into digital games. Like, hey, this is the problem.
Kevin, you're treading on some harsh territory here. You specifically mentioned, oh, give us a license for the multiplayer, but give us full access to the single player. Every game developer that I can think of, Nintendo being top on the list, and then EA and also Ubisoft,
Elite company.
Would immediately go, oh, okay. Well, here's the single player you paid $80 for. Now, if you want the online,
Charge
now
for
you're
that.
paying X amount a month. Or you're just paying X amount to get a license for the multiplayer for this many years.
That's, again, it's so weird, and it makes me wonder, maybe it's always been like this, maybe I'm just naive. Granted, getting into, like, gaming, covering the news side of things is fairly new, but, like, Modern Warfare 2, the original one, what happens there? Like, what is the thing there back in the day? Whenever I have my disc, I can go pop it into my Xbox and play the multiplayer. What happens there? Like, they shut the servers off, whatever. Halo 3, the original servers for Halo 3 are now offline, whenever I used to play on the 360. But I can play the game through the 360, or not the 360, the Master Chief Collection. It's there. I guess what a better remedy would be, if they want to shut off the servers or completely pack away a game, make sure there's a modern way to play it. Whether it's a port, whether it's a X, Y, and Z, I don't know. That's, again, asking these companies that are severely out of touch with their communities to act in good faith. Whenever we talk about Ubisoft, though, they're never in good faith, nor are they in good standing with the public.
You're just making me think, oh, make it playable nowadays in some way. Now you're just like asking them to make more remakes and remasters.
We can't talk about that subject right now because I'm already heated on that. Stay around for that
You're
video.
giving me so many holes to poke right now, though.
We're poking holes. Well, here's a bigger hole that I can basically poke to you,
Okay.
Aiden. Yeah, that came out so wrong. It's okay.
No, thank you.
It's okay. It's okay. We're back.
An adult.
I'm steering the shit back, but Doug Bowser, aptly named a villain from Nintendo, everyone knows and loves him. He held an interview with CBC, and he basically said, I'm going to paraphrase, and then I'm going to read the actual quote. Get your money up if you want to buy the Switch 2. If you can't afford it, get the Switch 1. So, there's that. I'll read the actual quote, then we'll unpack this. This is a direct quote from Bowser. We recognize these are some people may not be able to afford the Switch 2's price point. That's why we wanted to make the other Switch platforms available, so people still have an opportunity to come into our gaming universe, be a part of these characters in these worlds, and see value, if you will, in whenever rung of the platform they want to come in. Why?
Okay, can I just be the first one to say, what kind of smug asshole do you have to be to just be like, hey, you should love us because we're keeping our old system available for purchase? That's like, Sony asking for you to just be like, oh, let me praise you because the PS4 was still around when the PS5 released.
It's just amazing to me that we could sit here and, one, yes, tariffs and everything is causing the Switch 2 price problems. I'm washing my hands from that story. Whatever happens, happens at this point. But for these people to come out and say, like, hey, we get the Switch 2 is expensive, but the Switch 1, I want to add, that might not be getting games like Donkey Kong Bonanza or Mario Kart World. The reason why you buy a Switch 2. And they're just saying, yeah, buy that one. That's going to have all the old games. And I don't think it's going to have GameCube games on NSO. It's beyond me. It's way beyond me.
I mean, I just agree with you, man. I'm just like, I'm sick and tired of it. I really am. Because I sit there and think, oh yeah, like you just said, buy the original Switch. We're only going to be canceling all the games that we're making for it next year. Like, the only games you're getting for it are Metroid Prime 4 and then Pokemon Legends ZA. The game that is like 5 steps back from Legends Arceus. And then after that, you're probably not getting any more games on the original Switch. Yeah. And I guarantee you no third-party developer games are going on the original Switch. So you pretty much have to buy the Switch 2.
Cyberpunk, that blood, whatever. Dustblood, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Mario Kart World,
whatever
Cyberpunk,
Legend of Zelda game there is, and all of that's going to the Switch too.
It's like, all right, I get, like, hey, like, if you want to be a part of Nintendo, you can play all of our older stuff. That's totally fine. But people want the Switch too because of the new games. This console's been out for 8 years. Everyone and their mother has one. Like, almost, I would say. But if you're brand new to gaming right now, today, and you're like, Nintendo's releasing the Switch 2 with all these cool new games, the upgraded versions that should have already been on the Switch of, like, Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild, Pokemon Legends ZA, it's like, no, you're gonna buy the game console that plays I'm so confused by this. You're gonna want to buy the console that makes them play better.
They're honestly jumping on the Switch 2 in a way faster manner than I think they should be. And I only say that they should have a little bit of a lineup that actually is going to still be coming to the original Switch. So far, they have barely said anything that's coming to the original Switch still. And so Switch 2 releases, you're pretty much forced into buying it. So for them to say, oh, just buy the original Switch is pretty outrageous and honestly just laughable. I mean, think about when the PS4 transitioned into the PS5.
They did not care.
They still made PS4 games. So many of them. Like, so many of them were still made.
Yeah.
Even now, there are games still going to the PS4 and the PS5. So it's like, why aren't they doing that? Why not be like, hey, here's a slow burn. 2 years from now is when we're going to discontinue Switch games.
It's so crazy. And I'm sitting here looking at this quote over and over. And it's like, you want to sell the new platform. I get that. Everyone wants the Switch 2. I want the Switch 2. You want the Switch 2. It's whatever. But day one, you're going to get Mario Kart World. That's what everyone is playing. I would love to see, whenever the Switch 2 drops, if there's ever a chart of how Switch 1 player count is up here, and then release day, how that shifts. How does this thing equal out? Because, yeah, there's still going to be people on the Switch 1 whenever the Switch 2 comes out. Because, one, availability, if you're able to pre-order it, if you're able to afford it. And it's like, you can say this quote as long as you support both consoles. In this case, that we know of, Mario Kart World is not coming to the Switch 1. We got Metroid...
They already said it's a Switch 2 exclusive.
Exactly. Donkey Kong Bonanza, not coming to the Switch 1. Games like Pokemon Legends EA and Metroid Prime, they are coming to both consoles. But Donkey Kong's not till July. Metroid Prime is somewhere. The release date escapes me. I think it's towards the fall. And it's like, then what are you buying a Switch 2 for, and what are we sitting around for? I don't know. But yeah, it's very out of touch with both stories. Very out of touch for people who are... They're at the mercy of, one, these prices, and they're at the mercy of the industry. You go out expecting, I'll buy a copy of The Crew, and I'll have it forever. I'll be able to play it. I spent $80, or back then $60, on this game. I should be able to pop it into my console and play it and have no problem. But that's not the case. Switch 2, Switch 1, I should be able to, like, I don't know, play, at least for the first year, 2 titles, whatever. They've had long enough to kind of fix the problem there, but apparently not. I'm yapping for far too long, and it's just confusing me even more. Do you have any final thoughts here?
Not except for game companies, do better. Do better.
That's asking too much. I used to be the hopeful one, but now I'm becoming a grizzled veteran in the game.
I have
so
infected you. Mwahahaha.
And I know
the most dislikable person of Game Sandwich has reached his tendrils in and infected.
I know who's lurking in the comments right now, typing away at this. So I'll just give a tip of the cap to you. But if you have any thoughts about any of this, leave a comment down below. We'd love to talk about it. And if you're new here to Game Sandwich, consider dropping a subscribe and like here on this channel and join us on this gaming adventure we're going through. Again, if you are coming to PAX East, or if you have any interest in any coverage that you want to see us do, we'll both be there on the floor covering all the games there. So drop a comment down below for what you guys want to see. But as of right now, I've been K-LO, joined by Aden, and we'll see you guys next time. If you enjoyed today's video and want more content just like this, consider subscribing to Game Sandwich for all your news, rumors, and reviews. And we'll see you guys next time.